This presentation covers the functionality of EEE EduPack Enterprise Edition Guardian Portal.
The user must register on the portal. This is done by selecting the register link.
The portal user registration page will be displayed.
All of the fields need to be completed.
When the user has completed all fields, the information will be submitted to the portal server for verification. A verification mail will be sent to the email address that was specified. It is thus important that the correct email address is specified during the registration process.
When all information has been captured, the information is submitted to the portal server by selecting the Register button. Once the user has registered, the user account needs to be activated. An activation mail will be sent to the email address that was specified.
Should the registration process be successful, the system will give an indication thereof.
The message also indicates that an activation mail will be sent to the user.
This is an example of the activation mail that will be received.
The user account is activated by left-clicking on the Activate Now link.
The system will give an indication that the verification process was successful. Once the verification process has been completed, the user must log on to the system.
The user needs to enter the username and the password that was used for the registration process.
The user needs to enroll to an institution.
The list of institutions from which the user can select is displayed by starting to type in a part of the institution's name.
For the purpose of this demonstration, the institution name that will be used is Demo School. The user selects the applicable institution by left-clicking on the Institution Radio button to the left of the institution name.
The user enrolls to the institution by selecting the Next button.
There are different roles for which the user can apply. The different roles will be able to view different levels of information on the portal.
The user must at least select one of the roles.
Should the user not have active students in the selected institution, the guardian role should be selected. This will enable the user to enroll new students.
The use of the account holder and SGB roles is approved by the institution.
This implies that the system administrator of the selected institution is responsible for the approval of these roles. Should the user be a guardian of a student that is registered on the EduPack Enterprise system, and the account role was selected, the user will be able to add the student account number.
Should the user enter a valid account number, the account detail will be displayed.
Additional accounts can be added.
Once the accounts have been added, select the Next button.
The system will give an indication that this process has been completed successfully.
The user will now be able to log on to the portal.
Return to the login page by selecting the Done button. The user enters the selected login credentials and then selects the Login button. Should the login be successful, the portal main page is displayed.
The main calendar page is displayed.
Should the educational institution have set up different calendars, the different calendars can be viewed by selecting the appropriate calendar from the list. For this example, 3 calendars were created.
General School Calendar. All general school activities are scheduled on this calendar.
Rugby Calendar.
All rugby activities are scheduled on this calendar.
SGB Calendar.
All SGB activities are scheduled on this calendar. Menu options.
The only menu options that will be available, should the user not have active students in the educational institution which was selected during the enrollment process, are new enrollment and contact us.
This user will only be able to enroll new students in the selected educational institution.
Should the user have active students in the educational institution, which was selected during the enrollment process, and the guardian role was selected, the user will have access to all menu items except for the accounts and the management reports menu items.
To get access to the account information, the user must have active students in the selected educational institution, and the user must apply for both the guardian and account holder roles.
The educational institution must approve the user access to the account information before the user will have access to the account information. Student information.
All active students that are linked to the specific guardian is displayed by selecting the student menu option. When this is done, all active students which are linked to the guardian ID number that is currently logged onto the system will be displayed.
The student detail information is displayed by selecting the expand button to the left of the student preferred name. The system by default opens the student detail on the Subjects and Educators tab.
All subjects together with the educators responsible for the subjects are displayed.
The educators' contact numbers and email address are also displayed.
The educator has the choice if this contact detail should be displayed on the portal or not. This is set up on the EduPack Enterprise system.
An email can be sent to the educator by selecting the email link. The guardian information is viewed by selecting the Guardian tab.
The guardian's link to this account will be displayed.
The detailed guardian information is displayed by selecting the View link. The address, contact, and email information is displayed by selecting the different tab options.
Should the guardian details have changed, the user can send an email to the educational institution by making use of the Contact Us menu option.
Conduct.
When this menu option is selected, all conduct records that have been registered for the selected student will be displayed.
Absenteeism.
All absenteeism records that have been registered for the selected student will be displayed.
Assessments.
When the Assessment tab option is selected, the following is displayed.
The subjects for which assessments were created in the EduPack Enterprise Curriculum module.
The cycles that were created.
The types of assessments that were created.
For this example, 2 types of assessments were created.
SBA and exam.
The following information is displayed, all the assessments that were created.
The due dates for the assessment.
And the marks for assessments that have been marked.
Library.
All media items that have been issued to the selected student will be displayed.
The user can view the due dates for these items.
Achievements.
All the achievements that were achieved by the student and were registered on the EduPack Enterprise Edition will be displayed.
The dates that the achievements were awarded are also displayed.
Extramural activities.
All the extramural activities that the student were involved with and were registered on the EduPack Enterprise Edition will be displayed.
Documents.
Documents that have been loaded on the Documentation tab on the student, on the EduPack Enterprise Edition will be available to the guardian.
Only documents that have been set to be shown on the portal will be displayed. The institution thus decides which documents are available to the guardian.
For this example, only one document has been made available to the guardians.
The user can view the report cards for the students.
This is done by selecting the Show Report Card link.
This is an example of a system report card.
Accounts menu option.
The user will be able to view the account information for all accounts that are linked to the specific user.
The user can add additional valid accounts to the user profile by selecting the Add Another Account link. The statement is viewed by selecting the Show Statement link.
This is an example of a system statement.
Document menu option.
When the user selects this menu option, all documentation that was published to the portal by the selected educational institution will be displayed.
The documentation is grouped according to the groups that were set up by the educational institution.
Documents are viewed by selecting the document link.
New enrollment menu option.
This menu option enables the guardian to enroll new students.
All relevant detail information for the student as well as the guardian is captured.
The guardian also has the functionality to upload and attach relevant documentation. This documentation could include a copy of the guardian and student's identity documents, proof of residence, etc.
The user makes use of the Student Documents option to upload multiple documents.
When all information has been captured, the information is submitted to the educational institution for approval. Contact Us menu option.
This menu option gives the user the option to send an email from the system to the selected educational institution.
Should the user have two students enrolled in two different educational institutions, the user can select the correct educational institution by selecting the institution button.
When this is done, the guardian will have access to a list of all educational institutions where they have students enrolled. The list of educational institutions is displayed by selecting the drop-down list button. The user can now select a different educational institution.
The user can update their user profile and change the current password by accessing the user menu.
The user menu is displayed by moving the mouse cursor over the user name.
When this is done, the user menu is displayed.
The user now has the options to update their user profile or change their password.
To update the user profile, select the Update User Profile menu option.
The user can update the listed information.
Should the user change the current email address, a verification mail needs to be sent from the portal login page.
Should the user need to enroll to an additional education institution, it is done by selecting the Add Another Educational Institution link.
Should the user want to change the current password, it is done by selecting the Change Password menu option.
The user needs to type in the old password. Then type in the new password, and confirm the new password.
The password change is activated by selecting the Change Password button. The Management Reports menu option is not available as a standard option on the portal.
For this option to be available, the following needs to be done.
Firstly, the institution needs to subscribe to the portal Financial Management module.
Secondly, the portal user needs to have the SGB member user role assigned to him or her to be able to access this menu option.
The following financial reports are available.
Bank account balances per year.
Cash flow.
Expense distribution, actual versus budget.
Financial year comparison.
Income and expense distribution. Monthly income statement. User page display options.
The user has the option to make use of the whole screen. This is done by hiding the menu structure. The user hides the menu structure by left-clicking on the hamburger button.
The menu structure is displayed by left-clicking on the hamburger button for a second time.
The user has the option to customize the theme of the screen.
This is done by selecting the theme button.
When this is done, the themes menu will be displayed. The user can now change the theme. The user hides the theme menu by left-clicking on the theme menu option for a second time. This concludes the overview for the portal module.
Should you require more detailed information with regard to steps that were mentioned, refer to the detailed user's guide.